And welcome back. Another week, another Odyssey. What have we got? Ooh, interesting. We are certainly delving into other people creating these Odysseys. I like it, I like it. Alright, let's see what Madness Devilness has come up with. Ooh, it's extreme mode. Okay, extreme mode on medium and hard, and we only get 100 lives. Easy gets 300. Something tells me this is going to be difficult. Bulk balloons incoming. Maybe 5 times faster? Oh, fuck. Abilities could help you to get out your mad popping power. Go for it. Alright, well, the maps aren't horrible. They could certainly be a lot worse, if I'm honest. But let's see the details on the maps before I say that outright. Oh, okay. Frozen Over, Medium Apocalypse. Apocalypse beyond round 60 is going to be very difficult. Typically it goes crazy. And once again, even though bulk balloons may be 5 times faster, because it's made by someone that's not Ninja Kiwi, typically that means they can't do custom rounds. So Medium Apocalypse is probably the closest they can come to pure chaos. Or at least Apocalypse beyond round 60. Right, so Frozen Over. You can only upgrade 20 times, and abilities are much faster at cooling down. Cubism, ooh, hard alternate balloons round, 4 to 80, typical. 45,000 to get through it, that could be tricky. But it's looking like heavily ability-centered Odyssey so far. Monkey Knowledge is actually disabled for this one, although we will have it disabled for as many maps as we can. Unless, shit hits the fan. There you go. There's 300% ceramic health. Luckily, they're not any faster. They're just a bit more tanky. All right. Stream Bed, 40 to 90 Apocalypse. That's going to be mental. It's a good thing we start off with 30,000 cash. Ability rates, once again, quite low. Moab health and speed is insanely high. Ceramic health is pathetic. Removal rate is insane, so that's probably not very kind, but to be fair, we could probably afford it off the start anyway. And regrow rate is pathetic. That's good. Right, so Moabs are the big problem here. Got ya. Firing range. Hard alternate balloons around 30,000 again. 50 to 100, so we are going to be versing a 300% bad. But with the ability cooldown rate at 20%, I imagine Dartling Gunner middle path, since it was mentioned in this little description, is going to be pretty damn good. And Adora's Temple. Hard alternate balloons around 1 to 100. Holy shit, okay. That's already quite a bit heavy. All regrow, and then 10% to regrow rate, Moab health, ceramic health, Moab speed, and balloon speed. But once again, ability cooldown rate is in our favor. Right, how many towers will they give us for this? I guess we just have to find out. And do we actually get a hero? Okay, we get a hero, and it's an insane amount of towers. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Too cowardly to just give us a handful, which is fair. Ooh, but at the same time, if we don't get infinite Dartling Gunners, this could be tricky. Okay. So we've got Quincy, Striker, Jones, Churchill, Zealy, Etienne, and Geraldo. Alright, well, if you're a pro Geraldo fan, probably best to go with him. Otherwise, what abilities do we want? Okay, we can't make money with ability. At least not with the sniper's ability. We can make money with the druid's ability. That's a thing. I don't know if that'll be any good, but it's potential. Nope, we're just limited to 3 of them. Never mind, it's probably useless. What to go for? Well, I think it's obvious. Okay, only 1 Dartling Gunner. 300% BAD, or a 110% BAD that moves a little bit faster. I'm thinking if we're going to use the Dartling Gunner, it'll be on firing range. That's a fact. Because this doesn't go to 100, this only goes to 90, so we won't be seeing anything there. Although it is Apocalypse. I don't know when the first bad comes out on Apocalypse, but I'd hope it's not 90. Okay, so if we are bringing a Dartling Gunner along, we're bringing it along for firing range by the looks of it. Now, what abilities are going to be super overpowered that we can just abuse? Engineer could make us some more money. How many of those can we have? 3. Okay. Well, Classic Ninja Alk, I feel like we almost have to max out. Super Monkey does have a pretty good ability. Surprisingly has a pretty good ability. Prince of Darkness is almost always good. And I know most of this is going to be ability-centered Odyssey, but honestly, they're making it ability-centered and then restricting our abilities. I don't know what they want anymore. Pirate Lord's going to be dope. Most likely subs are too. Is there water on every map? Yes. Cool. Water on every map. We don't have to care about that. Recursive Cluster is always good. Maelstrom for sure, especially Super Mael. What's middle path ability for the Boomer? The thing. The Permacharge. It's alright. Maybe some Dart Monkeys to help start off on difficult maps. Is that enough to get a bomb? No, because you get Ground 0 at tier 4 and SAR Bomb at tier 5. So that would be Camo Detection, Pineapples, and the regular bombs being dropped. So no ability here, which is a shame, because that would have been actually useful. Glue Gunner ability? There's no map where it's all camo, but there is a map where it's all regrow, so that might help. Just sort of calm things down a little. No, sorry Mortar. I don't really find you valuable enough. 3 druids maybe? No. We definitely want a Spike Factory. 100%. Okay, is this what I'm going with? Maybe. There's so much going on, I don't really know. But, I mean, it looks good, right? I'll have to make it up as I go along, but essentially we need the Dartling Gunner for this month. Because alternate balloons round, I'm pretty sure round 100 might be a fortified bad. And a fortified bad means, what, like double or triple of regular bad's health? And then on top of that, plus 300%? Which is going to be insane. I hope it's not a fortified bad, and I hope it's just 2 regular bads or something, but that'll be interesting. So, definitely need the mad for this bad. And I guess we can try and do Frozen Over with the least amount of upgrades we can use. Maybe if we can get away with 1 ability that can just solo? What ability could solo? No. Damn. Okay, this is making me think a lot. Probably too much. Etienne's not a bad choice. Geraldo, I'm personally not great with him, so I'm not going to choose him. Plus, he's the newest hero anyway, so most people won't have him. Azili's great for Moabs. Honestly, really good for Moabs. And because most of these maps have us starting with a decent amount of cash, we could potentially get away with using Azili and placing her early. But Striker Jones is also solid at just pausing Moabs for the most part. Or do we go Churchill because we start off with a lot of... Fuck it, we'll stick with what we know. We'll just go Quincy, fuck it. Once again, I'm not saying Quincy's the best choice for this, not by a long shot, but it's the choice everyone's able to make. So let's start, plop Quincy down there. This is alternate balloons round, right? No, it's just Apocalypse. So we basically, we already have auto start on, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. Right. I suspect on the maps where we already start with 30,000, we'll be able to set up a really solid lot of upgrades, but on a map like this, I don't know what I should place. Maybe a Crossbow Master would be nice, but that's if we're able to get it. Maybe a Recursive Cluster. Ooh, Moab Eliminator might be good for the Moab as well. I never thought about that. Let's go for a Crossbow, I'd say. Can we save that, please? Thank you. Right. So for the most part, because this is our good old friend extreme mode, we're not going to be placing towers unless we need to, for the most part. So we'll just see how we go for now with just these two. Obviously, we're going to need a bit more, but maybe with Quincy's ability, we might just be able to spam it and consistently have it, if you know what I mean. So by the time he gets to level 3, we might just be able to continuously use his first ability for like the rest of the game. Which is what I'm hoping for, honestly. Because what is it, like triple speed? Yeah, triple attack speed for a short time. And even then it gets even faster later on. And more damaging. So we'll see how great the cooldown discount is before we place anything else. Because that's one big thing I did forget about. We're carrying our hero all the way through. So whatever abilities we get, they're going to be insane. Ooh, okay. So the uptime isn't... Okay. So it could do to last a little bit longer, but overall, since most of these maps doesn't have a massively increased balloon speed, we should be able to spam that fairly quickly in most shitty situations, which is great. Okay. So, admittedly, leads are a bit up in the air at the moment. I will need something for that, because I can't get a crossbow master before round 28. I honestly was tempted to use a Ninja Alk on this map. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe not. Because Quincy, Ninja Alk, and Crossbow Master would slaughter this map. I'm like fairly sure, but I don't know how many upgrades I need to save for each thing. Because this guy's already gone through 4 or 3. Quincy's technically gone through 1 just by placing. So you need 2 more to get to Crossbow Master, making us go to 7. And then Ninja Alk only go to like tier 4. So yeah, maybe we could put down a Ninja Alk and it would be fine. I don't know just yet. I'm not entirely sure. Oh god. Okay, yeah, this is getting a bit dicey now. Come on. I thought I could afford it earlier, I don't know why. Cool. Right. Let's just do it. Ninja Alk. Because, let's face it, our big hitters are the ones that we've only been restricted to having 1 of. Right? So we've got our Dartling Gunner, that's our Mad. We've got our Glue Gunner, that can literally be a Moab Pause Please. Except for on the BAD. We've got our Boat, which is literally just drag everything on the map down to the depths of hell. Somehow we've been given 2 subs, which I think is odd. But hey, I'm not complaining. I figured they would have restricted that a bit more heavily, but they have not, which is cool. We'll do that, okay. Yes, there we go. And then we need to throw down our Alchemist pretty soon too. Just because I don't know when leads are gonna come on this map. Or on this game mode. There? Sure, that looks like it's in the range of pretty much everything. Okay, I think those are all the towers I'm going to use. I want to save 2 upgrades for at least... No, 1 upgrade for Crossbow Master. And then these guys should be able to just go as normal. I hope. If we're lacking any sort of tiers for upgrades that I want, we'll probably take them out of cross paths. But Seeking Shuriken's basically a necessary. That's necessary. It's very necessary. Fuck, I can't speak. Okay. There we go. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it to pick up a little. It was going too slowly. But so far so good. Okay. Honestly, I have a pretty burning question for my fellow PlayStation lovers out there. And you know what? Even if you're an Xbox fan personally or anything like that, you can sort of pitch in by just going with old games. But what is your favorite PlayStation 2 game? because I have been reliving my favorites. And that has been a highlight of my week. Just randomly, I was like, I really want to play PS2 games. And my sister's like, I'm pretty sure I've still got mine connected up if you want to just jump on that. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And I have to say, my number one game on the PS2 at the moment is Spy vs. Spy. Now, I've never thought of Spy vs. Spy being a really popular game because I don't hear much about it. You know, I'm sure there are things on YouTube about it. I just haven't really looked up all of them yet. But Spy vs. Spy is probably one of my favorite games ever. And its concept is just beautiful. I feel like I'm honestly surprised that EA or Microsoft or some other money-hungry company hasn't grabbed the concept of Spy vs. Spy and just run it into the ground with remakes and shit. You know, it's honestly surprised me that I haven't seen copies of it yet. But, essentially, if you don't know what it is, there's like a story mode that you can play on all these different maps, and you have to go through them, taking people out, stealing items as like a spy, and making a great escape onto the next level where you have a new mission to sort of accomplish, right? Admittedly, I didn't dabble in the story mode too much. I was too busy messing around with the sort of free roaming co-op-ish mode, where essentially 4 players are placed on the map, right? And, oh wow, is this the perfect amount of upgrades I need to get quicker shots, and then crossbow master? Damn, that could be dope. But we'll see how it goes. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket yet. But essentially, 4 spies are put onto a map. They have the task of stealing 4 items before they're allowed to leave. And obviously the spy that leaves the map with all 4 of the items wins, right? However, the items aren't just lying around, they're behind a series of traps. So it's sort of like you have to navigate your way through Fall Guys types of traps, right? And then once you've successfully navigated your way through one without dying, and without anybody else trying to shoot you, essentially you get access to a room. Now, in that room there's like a bunch of different locations for the item to be hiding. You have to like open up desks, drawers, safes, all sorts to try and figure out where the item is. There's 4 items in the game. There is the Bucks bag, the disguise, the key, and the gadget. And I believe each of these items will give you a different sort of ability or advantage whilst you hold them. So I think the disguise allows you to enter other spies' bases when ordinarily you would get automatically killed by their security system. That's the disguise. Ooh, it's getting hairy now. Beyond round 40. Oh yeah, because Apocalypse is like a... Is Apocalypse an easy mode game mode? Oh, come on. Well, I mean, if that round flicks over... whatever. We'll retry. Let's go for flawless, why not? But yes, the disguise prevents you from being electrocuted if you're trying to enter an opponent's base. So if, for example, an opponent's base is closer than your base and you're low on health, you can go in there to get heals, and you're all good so long as you don't bump into them in there. You know, you're perfectly fine. The gadget, I believe, I think it lets you seed traps. In certain situations around the map, there are switches that can be pulled, and if you pull a switch, it activates a trap, and if you or somebody else runs through that area, you will instantly die because someone else has set a trap, or you've set it yourself and you ran into it and because you forgot. I believe the gadget allows you to either see if a trap is set or run through it without getting hurt. I don't exactly remember, but I also don't want to try it because, you know, I don't want to potentially die if that is the case. So that's what the gadget does. The bucks bag is just money. You pick it up, I believe it gives you like $1,000, maybe even 2,000 or something, and essentially you can spend that money on new weapons, new traps, new sort of bits of advantage. You can buy some armor, you can buy these little decoy things. How quick is this cooldown? That's pretty damn good. Especially considering the mobs are going to be going in real slow. Right, so essentially your goal is to acquire all 4 of these items and then just leave the map. Really straightforward. And then, so what? I've talked about the disguise, the gadget, the bucks bag. Now the key. The key is by far the most overpowered item in the game. Right? Because ordinarily, if you're searching for these items, you will have to go and navigate your way through a maze of different traps. Right? There's 4 items, so there's 4 lots of different traps or tricky trials to get through. And essentially, if you find the key as your first item, you've won the game. Or at least you have a really good chance of winning the game. Because the key allows you to go through locked doors, and the only doors that are locked are the exits to the rooms that have items in it. So essentially, if you pick up the key, you can completely ignore the trap, and you can just go in through the back door and just grab the item that you need, and then go back out through the safe back door. Easy as, which is the best item in the game, in my opinion, at least. So you typically want to try and find the key before any of the other items, but you obviously don't know which item is in which area, and it's randomized every time, so it's not like you can predict it after playing once. And so, essentially, your whole goal is to either make money by killing your opponents, to then buy things to protect yourself while you go and navigate all the traps and try and steal all the items for the win. Or, you know, if your opponent gets an item, your new goal is to try and murder them so you can steal it back. Depending on what item is, you may or may not want to do that immediately. And then find the rest of the items and then go for the win. And there can only be one winner. The person that leaves the map with all 4 items is guaranteed the winner, the victor. And honestly, I love the concept. I never played it with anyone other than like my sister at the time. So I never really tried out like a multiplayer version of it, but damn, it's good. It reminded me of like crossing Fortnite with like everybody sort of doing a little battle royale against each other, free-for-all type thing. And a little bit of Fall Guys it's got, you know, navigating through traps, trying to get through the traps first so you can get the item, then run off. It just seems like it's a great culmination of a bunch of different games that, I don't know. And somehow this was made first. But damn. Honestly, I get the feeling that some PlayStation 2 games have more thought put into them and more story than some PS4, PS5 games made these days, which is kind of hilarious. Anyway, what is this one? Alternate balloons round, regrow rate 150%, ability cooldown still in our favor, and ceramic health is a little bit crazy. Right. Okay, that's fine, that's fair. Alternate balloons round means we need camo detection immediately. I should have looked at that. Any of these alternate balloons round as well? Ooh, okay. Might have been a bit of a misplay to place a camo detection on Frozen Over, because we've got 3 more alternate balloons rounds. Or 2 more after this one. But to be fair, this one starts us with 30 grand. So Ninja needs to be on Adora's Temple and Cubism, essentially. Which is lucky. Okay. So we put our Ninja here. And I know that alternate balloons round doesn't mean everything is turned into camo, but it does mean you need camo detection fairly quickly. You know, they ain't messing around with that shit. Because I'm pretty sure you need it, what, next round? Yep. And I'm not losing lives to some bullshit like that. Although, to be fair, I consistently lose lives to the round 4 normally, so, yeah, take what you will from that statement. But spending under 45,000 should be easy. Should be. I'm gonna get Sharp Shurikens, then we'll place Quincy. No, we will not. I'm gonna get Sharp Shurikens, and then I'm gonna place the Alchemist, and then I'm gonna place Quincy. Because putting down Quincy next would lose us quite a few lives. In fact, maybe even getting Sharp Shurikens would lose us quite a few lives. So we're just gonna place the Alchemist now, because round 10 will be a pain otherwise. So let's do this guy here. Put him on strong. There we go. Now we can go for Quincy. Bloody alternate balloons round. Making leads come out round 10. That's just evil. That's just straight up evil. But yes, that is why we do not go for Sharp Shurikens just so yet. Okay, but honestly, once again, with these abilities being heavily in our favor, I think we'll be alright with just the same sort of combo that we just did. Like, I really don't see why we would struggle too heavily if we just did the same thing that we did on the last map. Because, Crossbow Master's insane. Alternate Balloons round is also insane, but I would argue that it's not as insane as Apocalypse. Because Alternate Balloons round is meant to go to 80. You know? And so, Ninja Kiwi have designed and balanced this game mode by taking it to round 80. Whereas Apocalypse wasn't really, I mean, it's not like you're not allowed to take it beyond round 60 or 40 or whatever, but typically it doesn't go beyond 60. Just because, you know, the game mode stops when you get to 60 in most regular games. See, there's always little boundaries that people that create Odysseys can go through. Like, if you're not allowed custom rounds, because, you know, only Ninja Kiwi's allowed to do custom rounds in Odysseys, then the next best thing you've got is Apocalypse beyond round 40, Alternate Balloons round beyond round 80. You know, you gotta mix things up a bit. Deflation that goes to a round completely unheard of or whatever. You know, you gotta test your limits, try new things, see how far you can push people with some odd rounds. But it would be pretty cool if we could make our own custom rounds. Could you imagine? That would be absolutely dope. Oh, and another thing about PS2 games, built-in cheat codes that you can either earn or find, or you achieve, like, get them once you complete the game, or you have to, like, put in a secret code on a secret screen. Oh man, that shit was good. The Simpsons Hit and Run, beautiful fucking game right there. Better than, well, I won't say GTA 5, but it's better than some of the GTA titles, in my opinion. I'm not going to say which ones because I honestly do lack a bit of knowledge on all of them. I'm not going to lie, I haven't really played any GTAs. I played GTA 5 online, just because my friends played it at the time, and it was great fun, I'm not going to lie. That was one of my favorite games for quite a while, but never really played the story. Couldn't get into a GTA story. I just waited till I could get to the free roam part, and that was where I had my fun. And I feel like a lot of people share my sort of sentiment. Like, GTA 5 Online, amazing. Love the free roam, love that you can jump on a server with a bunch of other people and just run through them, you know? It's beautiful. Anyway, Simpsons Hit and Run, where you... On one of the menus, you were looking at the couch, and if you were looking at the couch and you input a certain combination of button presses, you'd hear this confirmation beep, and that would essentially mean cheat code successfully input. And goddamn, that was good. You could get all sorts of cheat codes. I think you could get God mode so you couldn't die. No, you couldn't die full stop. But you could get caught by the cops and have to pay a fine. So I do remember, despite there not being like a sort of God mode thing, at least to my knowledge, there was a cheat code for you to instantly blow up cars if you rammed them. Which was a blessing and a curse. Because, it's a blessing because if a cop car touches you, in the regular game, and you don't immediately blow up, but you come to a bit of a stop, then basically the cops will fine you, you know, it's like, hey, You can't be driving recklessly like that or some shit, or you can't be kicking civilians in the shins until they fall on the floor and start rolling slowly. You know, that's illegal. So they'll chase you down, they'll crash into you, and if you can't drive anywhere anytime soon, then they'll fine you for like $50, and then all will be well. It's amazing. But yeah, there's a cheat to instantly blow up any car that touches your car that you're currently driving, and that is amazing. Any cop car that comes near you, just bang, goodbye, you're not a threat anymore, see you later. Any mission where you have to blow up a car, touch, dead, mission complete, well done. The only problem with that was at the same time, there were missions where you had to blow up cars, and it was really easy to do it with just a simple cheat code, because you could do it with any car. Typically they'd tell you to buy like the beefiest motherfucking destructor truck that could run someone over like a tank going through a supermarket of dollhouses, right? So typically they'd tell you, buy the beefy shit, get in that car, and then blow this mission out of the water with ease. But with cheat codes, it's just a little tap. However, like I said, there's ups and downs to this cheat code, and one of the downsides is that there are also missions where you don't want to blow up a truck immediately, or a car immediately, but you want to ram it a few times while it's alive, because it drops items every time you hit it. So you want a weak car, typically one that's fast so you can keep up, and then you'll want to just like tap it a few times, wait for shit to fall off the back of it, and if you tapped it once and it exploded, you tap it again, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't drop anything. You just get the one item and then you have to be happy with it. Meanwhile, the mission wants you to get 10 within the time limit, and you're like, well, fuck. So you had to turn the cheat code back off there, which was, you know, a little bit of a shame, but still, built-in cheat codes, man. So good. And then I played Futurama, the game, on PS2. Oh, that's a beautiful game right there. That's just running through New York, or whatever they call it, and shooting sewer mutants, robots, aliens on other planets. It's so good. And the storyline's actually pretty decent. I'm pretty sure they got the original voice actors for it too. Same with the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game. Pretty sure the original voice actors for the original Buffy series did the voice acting for the game, which was so cool. Damn. I don't know why, I'm just having this big nostalgia kick for PS2 games, man. It's so good. And I'm going to be playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, which I know a lot of people were just like, oh, 1 and 2 are the best and they got remastered, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is where I jumped in on the Tony Hawk games, and so that one's just resonated with me throughout my life, pretty much. All the music in it, especially. Oh, the custom playlists you could make. I used to, like, and this was me as a kid, an uncultured, you know, very specific music line or genre child, right? This was me being super uncultured and not willing to try anything new, but essentially when I played Tony Hawk as a kid, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, I literally turned off every single song except for TNT by AC/DC. And so I just had that on repeat the entire game, right? And somehow my childlike mind didn't get bored or find it repetitive at all. It was just constantly playing, and I was like, yeah, I'm a badass now, the whole time. Ah, oh, good stuff, good stuff. And the cheat codes in that game were a little bit more difficult to enter. Oh no, I think you just had to type them in. Yeah, and I think I even remember some. I think you had to type in "watch me explode," but you couldn't type the E in explode. It just had to be explode. Ah, these were beautiful games. Honestly, if you haven't, I'd say if you haven't played PS2, play PS2. But no, just look up these games and just see if you don't want to play them. You know, there's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just drawn me back, and I'm really glad I'm getting to relive some of the memories. It's pretty dope. So yeah, let me know if you guys have a favorite PS2 game, or if, you know, you never owned a PS2 and you never played it in your life, what's your favorite classic old school type game, you know? Maybe not PS4 or PS5 or any of the newer, necessarily newer generation consoles, but what's some old school games that you guys like? Because right now, after this Odyssey, I'm probably gonna play a bit more Spy vs. Spy, because damn, I love that game. Customizations, options as well, so you know, they're not scamming you out of just being default skin. You unlock new costume items as you progress through the story. You can turn yourself into a clown if you really want to. Oh my god, it's like Hitman! But damn, that was like my top PS2 game. Thunderhawk, I believe, was another one. I don't remember exactly too much about that. I just remember it being a game where you're in a helicopter and you're flying around just like shooting enemy bases or something and with rockets and machine guns or something. I don't know. It was just fun at the time. There's probably a much darker story behind it or something, but goddamn, yeah, great games. Great games. And weirdly enough, Ben 10 Protector of Earth, that was a dope game too. That was a legitimately good game. I haven't played a lot of the more recent Ben 10 games, but at the time, that was like, holy shit. It's like, I'm playing as Ben. You know, I'm so immersed. I can slap the little wristwatch on this boy's arm, and now I've got 4 arms, and I'm big, and I'm red. Ah, it was so good. So good. It just instant childhood boost for me. Ooh, speaking of dope PS2 games, SpongeBob, not necessarily Battle for Bikini Bottom. While I do admire that, it's now remade for PS4, and I haven't played it yet, but I've downloaded it, so I'll get around to that. But SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants was essentially just a SpongeBob game around a massive collection of mini games. And damn did I love that, but for some reason my PlayStation 2, maybe it wasn't my PlayStation, but either the PlayStation or the disc that I was using, or some otherworldly force just prevented me from playing that game. I know there's a lot of bugs in it, and it's hilariously glitchy, but that honestly would be another big one for me. Because I just loved the mini games, and it was so good. So good. I loved playing as, I think I did play as SpongeBob for a while. I think every now and then I picked Patrick, but back then I was a massive SpongeBob nerd. So, yeah. I'd probably play as Squidward now, maybe even Mr. Krabs. So just the entire time while I'm playing, I'm trying to throw everybody off playing with me, you know, like, if my sister decides to play as, Plankton or Squidward or something, I could just be like, money, 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 and just throw them off completely. Anyway, holy shit, I've been talking about PlayStation 2 this whole time. We've finished the first 2 levels. Cool. So 19 crew remaining for the last 3 maps. We've got Streambed, Apocalypse, Fast Moabs, and Heavy Moab Health. Firing range, Heavy Moab Health, still get our abilities. Removal rate's a bit insane on firing range, and on Streambed, and on this one. Nope, just on these 2. There's no removables on that one. So that's, you know, a little bit uncool, but hey, we've got 30,000 to start with on both of these maps, which should make them rather easy. And then Adora's Temple is just alternate balloons round, but it starts at round 1. You might not think that's a very big deal, but that is a huge deal, because I believe hard maps start on round 6 or round 4? Either round 6 or round 4, maybe round 3. But starting on round 1 means you at least get 200 extra bucks early on, which means a lot in terms of affording a hero, especially if they're, you know, the affordable type, Churchill. Anyway, so that is part 1 of Mad... Oh, I didn't even read the name of it. Mad Modysseus. Mad Modysseus by Devilness. So far so good, Devilness. I think I'll wait till we've played the last 3 maps before I officially decide how balanced this Odyssey is. But yes, I most certainly think we're going to need the Mad for firing range. Plus, I mean, the map matches up with the tower, you know? They've mentioned the tower, they've put a literal tower, and it's called Firing Range, so I'd say the Dartling gun is probably made for this map. Especially with 300% and 100 and alternate balloons round, so it could get hectic. Anyway, that's going to do it for part 1. I hope you guys found it useful, and thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.